Good morning, everybody. I'll try to make this as quick as possible so we can all get back to talking about Batman. The following comments are taken from editions of Mail Call printed in the Herald Mail from July 9 to July 19th, 2012, which can be read online in their entirety at www.herald-mail.com. First up from Hagerstown. So you have to learn to change your driving behavior around schools year-round, even on holidays, Monday through Friday, like July 4, from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m., or you'll be taxed, given a penalty. But if you change your health behavior and eat healthy and don't get sick and stay out of hospitals and doctors' offices, you'll be taxed for changing your behavior. Something's wrong with this whole formula for raising money. Let's be honest, they just want to tax. If I squint and hold the paper sideways, I can faintly make out that you're talking about the Affordable Care Act. Yes? All right, look. If you have health insurance already, you're not going to be taxed. It's only if you don't have health insurance and you can afford to buy it and choose not to that you become subject to the penalty/tax. And why is that completely fair for the government to do? Because there is no such thing as free health care. When an uninsured person is forced to go to the emergency room to get health treatment, and they can't afford to pay for it themselves, the costs for that treatment are passed on to all the people who do pay into the system. And the penalty, the tax, whatever you want to call it, is a way of ensuring that everyone, insured and uninsured, who can afford to pay into the system does pay into the system, spreading the cost for that treatment out over a greater number of people and keeping costs down for everyone. There are times when the wants of individuals have to come second to the needs of society. I think this is one of those times. And the sooner people like you come to peace with the fact that humans are social animals and that participation in society is not voluntary, no matter how independent you fancy yourself, the better off we'll all be. Government finance is not like personal finance. If an individual runs into financial difficulty, they need to become more frugal. In a recession like the one we are in, the government needs to spend more money on everyday people. These people will spend their money and the economy will grow. Halfway. I agree. Massive public works projects might not cut that unemployment rate all the way down to size, but they would at least put a dent in it. See, this is one of the many areas where George W. Bush fucked up royally. If you're gonna start wars, at least make them job creators. Like World War II, the most popular government employment project in history. During President Obama's 2010 State of the Union speech, he insulted the Supreme Court justices who were sitting in the front row for a law they passed that Obama said he would change. Senator Obama made it clear he wasn't in favor of Judge John Roberts being appointed Supreme Court Justice by Bush on grounds Roberts was prejudiced. Now Obama is all smiles, shakes Roberts' hand. It is a mystery, as Roberts made it clear in April, socialized health care was unconstitutional. Hagerstown. Gee, you think the Affordable Care Act not being socialized medicine, except of course in the paranoid fantasies cultivated in the more deranged regions of the right-wing collective imagination, might have something to do with that? Well, Maryland's two biggest President Obama worshippers, which would be Governor O'Malley and Mikulski, they're all excited about this Obamacare, really supporting it. My question's this: why didn't you come forward and say, well, Maryland's one step ahead of the game? You can't be denied medical care of any kind within the state of Maryland by any doctors or hospitals. Obamacare is something that should have been left to the individual states, just like the immigration laws. The federal government has gotten way too big. Hagerstown. God, I know, right? First it mandates that everyone buy health insurance, then it claims the authority to regulate international borders. I mean, what's going to be the next federal power grab? Funding education? Building an interstate highway system? Using the military as a pretense to lavish virtually unlimited amounts of taxpayer dollars on private defense contractors? I mean, what kind of a country are we living in? Wait, is this 1916? Because if I'm this upset at the prospect of those things happening, this has got to be like 1916, right? Hey, I know what we can all do. Let's just sign over our paychecks to the government, etc. That is, what is left of it. Then we can all try to go on welfare. We already give them our hard-earned money that supports them and their frivolous wants and rich lifestyle. This isn't the way our forefathers meant it to be. Greed has taken over, and it looks like we're the losers. We are working to support them, and they just don't get it. Hagerstown. The guy who bitches about his taxes going toward the rich lifestyles of people on welfare, complaining about the greed of others. That's because the projects are always the most lavish and envied neighborhoods of any city, right? Everybody wants to live there. What's with this redistricting? I tell you, Neil the petition parrot, that's all he's done since he's been down there. Every time you turn around, he's got another petition. He's supposed to be down there representing us, trying to pass bills to help us. All he does is petitions. So his name from now on is Neil the petition parrot. Hagerstown. The petition thing gets on my nerves too, but the most egregious thing about Neil Parrott is that he publicly endorsed withholding medication from HIV positive people until they got a tattoo branding themselves as HIV patients. And since he has never renounced this disgusting proposal, which he considered to be a compassionate solution to the problem of AIDS, by the way, I think he needs a much better nickname than Neil the Petition Parrot. How about Neil the Needle? Since I have been on Earth, the U.S. has been involved in 5 wars. 4 of those wars were a waste of lives and money. I would rather my taxes go to providing health care and food for our less fortunate citizens. I do not like for America to kill people halfway. If you hate this country so much, why don't you just get the fuck out? Huh? What's your favorite patriotic song there, comrade? Marx Bless the USSA? The Red Star Spangled Banner? Hammers and Sickles Forever? Wait, there's got to be another one. Battle Hymn of the People's Republic? How do you tell a Romney voter from an Obama voter? Romney supporters sign their checks on the front. Obama supporters sign them on the back. This has been your political lesson for the day. Boonesboro. Hey, where's the best place to hide money from a black person? Oh, what am I doing? You probably tell that one all the time. And finally, from Fairfield, Pennsylvania, to those of you who oppose gay marriage, ask yourself this question. If gay marriage is legalized, it will deprive me of... Any response that starts with, the Bible says, is not a valid response, as your religion of choice or birth has no relevance on laws. Further, the fact that something is or is not in compliance with your religion is also irrelevant. It is your religion, and you are welcome to follow all the tenets and laws, but under no circumstances does that give you the right to determine the religious beliefs of others. So please try to answer the question without involving your religion, and I think you will find that gay marriage will have zero impact on your health, finances, or anything else. How about an explanation for opposing gay marriage that begins and ends with, I think it's gross? Because for all the appeals to religion and morality and tradition and other things that people try to justify it, I think that's really it. People are opposed to gay marriage because they don't like to see boys kissing other boys. Or maybe they're afraid that they'll like it a little too much, eh? Either way, it's a really shitty reason to advocate that some of your fellow citizens who enjoy doing slightly different things with their genitals than you do with yours ought to not have the same rights as you. Those of you who oppose same-sex marriage, you can go right on opposing it and you don't have to like it. But you not liking it doesn't justify trying to make sure that nobody else can do it. So get the fuck over it and stop acting like such assholes, huh? Thanks for watching.